morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Season Keepers, the show where the only two people we recommend keeping for the season is us. My name's Matt, aka Clean Sheet Wipeout.
My name's James, aka SK James FPL.
You're right, dude. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Sky's been a bit of a shitter, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've
It's,
fallen a bit since last week, but still doing okay.
I think it's genuinely one of the lowest scoring Sky weeks I've ever had. Like
Big time.
matching FPL low scores, which is very surprising given you get multiple captaincy choices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's disappointing, but I think a lot of people have suffered with us. I think.
Yeah, agreed. My rank hasn't particularly dropped. I'm still outside of the top 1k, which is frustrating. But yeah, we'll come on to kind of our position shortly. Just to timestamp it, we're recording this about 5 minutes before Arsenal kick off against Everton, so we won't cover that as a game. We'll maybe do a bit of a prediction. But I think James had to make some panic transfers, which we'll come on to shortly, because Smith Rowe is obviously out of the game, and a lot of people own him. Aubameyang is not on the starting 11. There's quite a high ownership there. So those with either a defender or Ramsdale, like myself, probably quite fortunate that we've got a player starting.
Yeah, not good. We can cover it now if you want. Or
Yeah, go for it. What moves have you
yeah,
made?
yeah. So not very happy, but I was tempted to skip it, but I've moved Smith Rowe to Gabriel in team two,
Decent.
my better team, and the other team I've moved Meslier to Ramsdale.
Oh, I think they're both decent moves, to be honest. I think Arsenal, looking at the fixtures all the way up to overhaul, personally, I can probably see 4 or 5 clean sheets. So I think
I hope so.
going to someone like Gabriel might even pick up passing tier tonight. You never know. You could do quite well there. And yeah, I think Ramsdale is probably the keeper to be on at the moment. So Meslier to Ramsdale, given the fixture swings. I think, yeah, another good move there.
Cheers.
Right, let's jump onto the fixtures then. And just starting with the lunchtime kickoff on a Saturday. Absolute cracker of a game. Not so great for Sky. It was West Ham 3, Chelsea 2.
No, yeah, very disappointing in Sky. I think it probably actually had a net gain for me, like only being on one Chelsea defender.
Yeah.
I'm just on Rudiger. He didn't get passing tier, which is
No.
annoying. Only like a couple of tackles away from tackle tier. It's a shame. But I mean, Thiago Silva. I don't think anyone's on Thiago Silva, but obviously he scored.
Yeah, another good goal for him, to be fair. I'm going to quickly check his ownership stats because I think there are a few people on him now.
Oh,
Um,
really?
okay, nowhere near as many as I thought. Sorry. It's just honestly, that's what Twitter does to you. But I've seen that there was a few people bringing him in, obviously because he seems to be a regular. It's 1.3% in the top
There you
1k
go.
and
No one.
4% overall.
Yeah, just as I thought. But yeah, no. Obviously, a lot of saves from Fabianski. No returns for an assist for Antonio,
Yep,
which I guess is something. Obviously, he didn't score, but you'll take that, no doubt.
definitely.
James obviously getting booked is a pain, but obviously did pick up passing tier.
Yeah, and Alonso going off early again, which is
Yeah,
bloody
yeah,
annoying. That move to Alonso just hasn't been the move that I thought it would be. And there's still time. You know, the fixtures are still pretty good for Chelsea, but it's been frustrating so far. I could have spent that money elsewhere.
yeah. And obviously, Lukaku's back. Didn't do anything after coming on. I imagine he'll probably start
Yeah.
the next Premier League game. So it'd be interesting to see whether Mount keeps his place on form. He should do, but whether that fits the system he wants to play, we don't know.
No, exactly. I think that this game, albeit it was full of goals, there isn't really a lot to talk about in terms of tiers. There wasn't any real passing tiers to talk about. Even Declan Rice, for instance, got nowhere near passing, didn't even make a single tackle. So I think that really
Not like him.
sums the game up, really. The,
Yeah, big time.
the most interesting fact that I saw in this one was Masuaku. Obviously, came on for Johnson at the start of the second half, got himself a goal and 5 tackles.
Yeah, definitely got himself stuck in, and obviously a very fortuitous goal to win the game. So credit to him. I'm sure almost no one owns him,
Yeah,
but
definitely not.
yeah, a good result for West Ham.
For sure. Right then, let's jump on to a game in which one team needed to win and Newcastle got it. It was Newcastle 1, Burnley 0.
Yes, they did, and I feel like our narrative of midfield tackles is maybe over.
Like Eddie Howe's killed it.
Yep, Almiron closest really in the midfield with
Yeah,
3.
3.
Yeah, a bit of a shame.
It's just not the same.
No, should take a note out of Goodmanson's book, who got 7 for Burnley.
I've seen that. Loved it.
Absolutely insane. Obviously, Cornet going off with an injury, 32nd minutes, going to be a big blow for Burnley. Vidra just is not the same caliber of player.
No, and obviously Callum Wilson got himself the goal. I don't really think people are going to be looking at either Newcastle or Burnley. Both fixture-wise are pretty tough, and there isn't really a reason to be on them at the moment. So let's just jump on to the next game. In a game that I was at, and a game that pissed me right off. It was Southampton 1, Brighton 1.
Yeah, pain big time this fixture. Real blow to concede right at the end. Obviously lose the clean sheet for those on Saints defenders. And obviously dunk owners, no dunk. Big miss. Obviously looks like he's going to be out for at least the rest of this year.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm a dunk owner myself.
Yep, not good at all. Obviously Veltman got 5 tackles in this game, which worth shouting out about.
Yep.
Cucurella as well, 4 tackles. Is he a defender in this game?
Yes,
he is. Cool. Yeah, because obviously he's always bombing forward, gets forward quite a bit. So it'd be interesting to see if he continues to hit tiers. Obviously he's got a tackle tier there. Brozier took his goal very well.
Yeah. Probably
if anything, I feel like he could have. I think I rate him more than I do Adam Armstrong. I feel like Adam Armstrong takes a lot of shots, but sometimes they don't even have that much sort of strength behind them.
Yeah, agreed.
Which is, I guess is kind of good for Sky if you had Armstrong. Obviously, if you get shots on target, they all count. But Brozier's actually scoring.
Yeah, and for a very tall man, he's got pace and he's got strength, and I genuinely think he's going to develop into an unbelievable forward at some point, and he's already proven like how good he is with us. I think obviously he's on loan. Hopefully we can maybe extend that into next season or at least purchase him, and no doubt Chelsea will shove a buyback clause like they have with Livramento. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see him start again at the weekend. And as for Brighton, I think it's going to be tough because obviously Duffy picked up his 5th yellow card, so he's suspended for the weekend. Webster's out injured. Dunk's out injured. I think all in all, they've got 8 players that are either injured or suspended for this weekend. One horrible one to see was I think it was Veltman out on the left. Picked up an injury. It looked really innocuous. To be fair, no, it wasn't Veltman. It was Trossard, because they went down to 10 men. He wasn't even subbed. He was kind of at a little collision with Redmond, went down screaming, and we were like, what's he talking about? It looked like he's landed on his arm like incredibly awkwardly and probably broken it.
Oh God!
I've not seen news, but yeah, he was down getting gas and air for a good. Basically, he was the reason for the 8 minutes added time, but yeah, it didn't look good for Trossard, and he was on gas coming out on the stretcher, and his arm was in a proper cast. So I'd be a bit worried for Brighton moving forward.
Yeah, very depleted squad.
And then jumping on then to the inevitable, Salah captaincy that we probably all went for. And it wasn't really what we were expecting, but Liverpool got the win and got a clean sheet. It was Wolves 0, Liverpool 1.
A quick question for you. Is Nouri, is that 8 Nouri? In the Wolves?
I presume so.
Yeah. Surely. Yeah, because I was looking at it thinking, who the fuck's Nouri?
Yeah, it's got to be 8 Nouri.
Yeah, eight tackles. eight Nouri.
Yeah, love it. That's the name of the podcast.
Terrible pun. No, I can't. Sky is very boring and called Gameweek, whatever it is every week.
I've noticed.
Yes, Saar. I'm a little bit gutted because he's in my team too. I thought he was going to get a surprise clean sheet in this one,
Would have been a
and
monster. I bet he would have got man of the match as
yeah,
well.
oh, I would have loved it. Yeah, it would have been man of the match, save tier, clean sheet, but instead, that prick Divock Origi come on and scored.
I was so happy because I know full well that there are plenty of people like yourself that are on one, if not two Wolves. And
Yeah,
yeah, the last thing I needed is another fucking hole from Saar.
yeah, no, yeah, big haul. Someone else who's been sort of doing fairly well recently is Van Dijk.
Yep.
Uh, tier two passing, clean sheet. Obviously, we think about the sort of the games where Alexander Arnold, I don't know, gets like a nice assist or bangs in a free kick, but Van Dijk is more than capable of sort of outscoring
Yeah.
Alexander Arnold just as often.
Yep. Agreed.
Very, very good player in this game, and one I've got in my weaker team, and I feel like I should maybe have him in my stronger team.
No, it's a very good asset. And another player that I've been particularly impressed with is obviously Thiago, picking
Yeah,
up 80 passes in this game, getting himself another 90 minutes in the bag, and he looks to be ticking along really nicely.
yeah, he does. I wouldn't mind owning him. There's a lot of Liverpool players I'd actually not mind owning.
Yep,
Robertson as well. Obviously, he's been playing well
he
recently.
has, yeah.
Jota, obviously, of course, obviously missed a sitter in
Absolute.
this. Yeah. Oh, if you owned him, then you'd be your head in your hands.
You would, yeah, you'd be fuming.
Yeah, devastated.
Um, let's jump on to a game then in which was an absolute monster hole for Sky for one particular player, and that player I know you own him. It's Bernarda Silva. It was Watford 1, Man City 3.
Yeah, I brought him in a few weeks ago in my weaker team, and he's just been gold dust ever since. Obviously, great performance in this game. 2 goals, shots here. Just yeah, the man's everything he touches turns to gold at the moment. In fact, the whole Man City team kind of is just a sea of tears.
Yeah,
Diaz and Walker are over 100 passes.
that's madness.
That's a big return for Carl Walker there with the assist as well.
Yep.
Worth shouting about. Obviously, Cancelo, along with a few others, Bernardo as well, have been rested. So that's good news for us, meaning he should play in the Prem
Yeah,
next game
you'd
against
hope so.
Wolves.
Particularly
Yeah,
given that they've got 3 games in 8 days. So yeah, there was an inevitable point in which these players were going to need a rest, and I'm just glad that Pep's able to give them kind of the week to recuperate and not have to travel.
yeah, exactly. It's looking very good for anyone on those City assets have been rested.
For sure.
On the Watford side of things, Backman 9 saves.
9 saves. It could have been a lot worse, couldn't it?
That is insane. I feel like they should introduce a third tier for like just mental
Yeah,
figures like that,
for something like that, because obviously
like 8 or above.
we mentioned on the last Skypod that was it the last time these two sides faced each other. It was what 8-0 for City a couple of years ago. So looking at these figures, it could have very much been the same. And I think one man that probably was at fault for City was Jack Grealish. In the first half, he could have scored a hat trick and probably should have scored at least 2 of them. So he was a little bit, a bit loose with his touches. Wasn't as clinical as obviously Pep would have wanted him to be. He was effectively playing in the false 9, and albeit Grealish has never played there before, but yeah, I think Pep was trying to coach him, and he came off in the 68th minute. It's a learning experience, and inevitably Grealish is going to get better and better. But yeah, I would have expected him to see a couple of returns there.
Yeah, he'll be a little bit disappointed, but I think next season I think is when Grealish will sort of kick on. I'd imagine.
Yep, for sure. Right then, moving on to the Sunday fixtures, and first things first, James. It was another late goal, and it was an equaliser for Leeds United from a returning Patrick Bamford. Leeds 2, Brentford 2.
Yeah, yes, it was. The man that's so clinical, and he's shown it again, just straight off the bench and scoring right at the end. It's very impressive, and I can't remember what he was like for tears in Sky. I don't think he was. I think he was okay,
He'd
but
occasionally
like
pick up shot here.
yeah, shots here. Obviously, it was great for scoring,
Yeah.
which at the end of the day is enough. to get you some decent points.
Yeah, I don't think you're going near Leeds now until after overhaul, though.
No, no, very tough fixtures. And for this game, I was very annoyed to see Luca Toni obviously contracted COVID-19.
You just call him Luca Toni.
Did I say Luca Toni? Ivan Toni, not the Italian
No,
international.
definitely not.
Ivan Toni, yeah. I just brought him in obviously recently with the Watford game in
On
mind, and
Friday, yeah.
yeah, it's painful. So I've had to obviously move him on. I moved him on to Henry for this game, who got booked and got me absolutely nothing.
It's
The only
unfortunate.
consolation was Pinnock, who I was also thinking of bringing in, did nothing as
Did
well.
nothing as
So
well. Yeah, exactly. And
yeah,
the only other player you could have moved on to, I mean, obviously Norgard picked himself up
you did suggest
tackle
Norgard
tier.
as well.
I suggested Norgard to you. I didn't suggest Mbomo because he's been useless for me,
Why
but
would you?
he
Yeah,
picked up an assist. I got
he did.
5 points from Mbomo. I was buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing.
There you go, mate. That's that Rafinha move.
It is. That is it. It's paid
Finally
off.
repaid, mate.
Absolutely. Um, if
Oh dear.
Mbomo can return at the weekend, because he's obviously going to be my captain on Friday, before he finally vacates my team, I'll be happy.
I'm a little bit annoyed because I actually thought about I thought like who do I want from Brentford? And I went, oh, Canos. Canos is really good. I should bring him in. And then I saw he wasn't a defender.
Yeah,
And then was like, oh, he won't get the clean sheet. I won't bring him in. And then obviously bloody goes and
got
scores.
himself a goal shot here.
Yeah, yeah. If he was a defender, he would have been in my team.
Yeah, he's been very good this season.
Yeah.
Right, let's jump on to a game in which a lot of people, probably like myself, use this fixture as the point to jump on one Cristiano Ronaldo if you weren't already on him. He didn't get the goal this time round, though. It was a very unexpected goal scorer who picked up an absolute monster haul. It was Man United 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Yeah, crazy stuff. You've all broken Ronaldo for me after my good week last week. Thanks a lot. But yeah, no, Fred,
Fred,
goal, passing tier, tackle tier, 7 tackles.
bonkers.
Between him and Tellez, they got 14 tackles. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he got man of the match as well.
Wait, he deserves it. Yeah, Fred has been playing very well
He has.
recently. And in the Sky game, you could probably actually almost consider him as a serious asset
Yeah,
in comparison to maybe other games.
yeah, 100%. Like, it's not crossed my mind about going for Fred, but I thought I'd check out kind of how he'd been getting on this season. And to be fair, he's been ticking along. He's on 58 points. But if you had to take a stab, what price do you think Fred is?
I reckon he's maybe fairly cheap, 7.6.
Oh, on the money.
Is he
On
actually?
the money.
That's
Yeah,
mad.
I was surprised at 7.6 million. Obviously, he's cheaper than, say, Lewis Dunk, for instance. Um, if you wanted to start maybe jumping on, and I mean, this could be a bit of a batshit crazy idea, but if you wanted a bit of another like cheap midfielder punt, there's a few at 7.8. Fred, maybe filling in that third midfield slot. Why not? Saves you a bit of budget.
Yeah, I don't think there's worse things to do.
Yeah, for sure. And he's obviously been picking up tiers, which is one of the things you really want in Sky. I hadn't realised, but yeah, obviously he got himself 8 points, the assist against Arsenal, passing tier and tackle tier in this game. Chelsea was a tough fixture before that, but I think with Rangnick coming in, so playing that 4-2-2-2, I think he could have a bit of an impact in this squad. And I think positionally, he's probably going to be quite key to the press, which maybe explains the amount of tackles that he made. So yeah, moving forward, it's definitely one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, agreed.
Then obviously on the other side, a little bit frustrating for anyone that owns Palace players. Obviously, Gihai is quite well owned, got himself booked, and obviously conceded the goal to lose the clean sheet. And Gallagher one tackle away from a tackle tier, which was frustrating.
Yeah, big time. I actually thought Gallagher might surprise me in this one and get something,
Mm,
or even score. But yeah, no, nothing this time round.
sadly
Fixtures
so.
do look okay after this, though.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, Gallagher is definitely a hold for me. Right then, jumping onto a game in which a lot of people, like myself, gambled on a Harry Kane haul. and it didn't really come, but at least he outscored Ronaldo. It was
Yeah,
Spurs 3, Norwich nil.
he did get shots here, but we're sat here again with Harry Kane
Useless prick.
not scoring.
No.
And surely this is the end of the road, is it not, Matt?
No. Oh, honestly,
Oh dear.
it's frustrating. We'll come on to why shortly, but yeah, obviously I was texting you saying that's it, he's done, he's dead to me, blah blah blah. Then I've now looked at the fixtures that are coming up, and I have to keep him for at least this weekend, and I'm gutted.
So this is Stockholm syndrome.
It is.
You're
I'm locked
captive.
in. He's going to be here until overhaul now. I tell you, he's not. He's
Oh
not.
dear. Yeah, I mean Højbjerg's matching him. He's got passing tier.
Yeah.
Passing tier 1. But I think worth a mention here is what the hell happened with Norwich's defenders.
Honestly, I was
Grant
watching.
Hanley on
Yeah,
99 passes.
I was
What
watching
was
this
going
game, and
on?
Norwich were playing it around the back so much, which really took me by surprise. But yeah, obviously, Omobamidele, Hanley, and Gibson all in the 90s for passing.
Yeah, I mean the whole of the defense, apart from Williams, hit tiers, and
Yeah,
even Williams was only one pass away
yeah,
and one tackle away as well from tiers.
exactly. It would have been an unbelievable haul. Yeah, they've conceded 3, but you know, to hit 99 passes against Spurs, it's no mean feat.
Away from home as well, it's crazy.
Definitely. And then once again, obviously, we keep mentioning him, but Billy Gilmore, I've got to mention him every
Oh
pod, James.
fucking hell!
Picked himself up passing tier, but got himself booked. But yeah, honestly, come overhaul, Billy Gilmore is going to be in a lot of teams.
I doubt it.
All right, and jumping on to obviously the final game that we'll cover, because the Arsenal game is currently playing. A very unexpected double goal scorer. It was Aston Villa 2, Leicester 1.
Did Matty Cash not get the assist in Sky? I swear he got the assist in FPL, or am I
Yeah.
making this up?
Let me double check while you talk about it.
It's just because like Matty Cash is on 9 tackles, obviously,
Yes.
and
Unbelievable in terms of the
if he
tackles.
if he got an assist with that, it'd have been flying. But
No, he didn't.
yeah, 9.
It was McGinn and Buendia.
Okay. But yeah, no, 2 goals for Monster Consus. That's a monster haul there for him. Yeah, Cons 2 goals and Harvey Barnes. Not really what we expected from this one. I've seen a few people on Watkins.
Yeah.
Not paid off this week. He has scored sort of occasionally.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gerrard's Villa are looking very, very good at the moment. So
They are. John McGinn
maybe,
once again impressive.
yeah, John McGinn, an assist for him. They're playing very well, in fairness to them. I guess I don't know, yeah, who you'd look at from Villa really. I guess Konza after this, Konza stands out, doesn't he? But I think
Yeah,
Cash has been ticking away as well with
he has.
Tiers.
He has. And the thing with Aston Villa is obviously their fixtures are a little bit bitty. It's obviously, I think it's Liverpool this weekend, then you've got Norwich and Burnley. But then they play Chelsea and Leeds, and then it's Brentford, but then it's Man United and Everton before overhaul. So it's quite tough. And I genuinely think the returns might be spread across the team as we're seeing. So someone like, say, Marvelous Nakamba seems to have cemented a spot in this team. He is so cheap in this game. I'm going to double check, but I'm sure he's in the 5s.
What? I didn't know anyone was that much.
Where is he? Marvelous Nakamba. 5.6 million.
5.6.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Now, if he's getting regular minutes for Steven Gerrard and come overhaul, 5.6 million for a midfielder. He picked up tackle tier against Crystal Palace. He picked up tackle tier against Man City. Obviously hasn't picked up anything in this game, but at 5.6, he will allow so much if he is a consistent 90-minute player in this team.
Yeah, I mean, if he plays, that's good enough, really.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very much keeping him on my radar because it could well become a 10-man game. Obviously, if a lot of people jump on someone like Nakamba, and if you are looking to go big at the back, for instance, which has paid off before, 5.6 million, you're saving yourself a good 2.5 million there on any other player.
Yeah, no, big time.
And obviously on the Arsenal game, it is kicked off 16 minutes ago, James. And just to give you a score update, it is Everton nil, Arsenal nil.
Yep, Gabriel leading the passing
Yeah,
is what I'm seeing
I
there.
was going to say, yeah, that this is the beauty of FF stuff, is the fact that you can we can see it live action here, and yeah, Gabriel is already on 19. You're well on for that passing too, James.
I hope so. There's a sea of tackles as well in the Arsenal midfield.
There is, yeah, they're like one each. Right
Yep.
then,
Hope.
let's jump on to how our teams are getting on, and see the sky kind of it's going to look a little bit different, given there is a game currently ongoing, James. But how are you getting on so far?
Yeah. So Team One is doing a little bit better than Team Two. It's got 64 points. It's now risen to 1.3k.
Nice.
Thanks to Bernardo Silva on 16. Son got me 10. Van Dijk got me 10. It's looking decent. It's got Ramsdale captain at the moment. Smith Rowe getting me nothing. But yeah, 28 transfers left. It's actually in a fairly decent shape.
Oh, it is. It's 1 point behind my 18.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you've
uh,
overtaken my B team with that one now.
wow. And then Team Two is on 43 points, sat at 612th. That's got Gabriel captain at the moment. Saar got me 4 points, which was a nice sort of surprise.
Mm,
Trent on 7. Hoiberg obviously ticking over on 4. Rafinha on 4. Cancelo on 4. Henry didn't pay off bringing in for Tony, so he got 0 points, but hopefully he'll do something against Watford. And then yeah, just Salah and Ronaldo up front. Bit disappointed from Ronaldo. Was hoping for at least tears, maybe a cheeky goal or two as well. But yeah, moving forward, team's in fairly good shape.
nice.
Again, 28 transfers.
Decent. Yeah, my team one is on 50. And then my B team, I believe, isn't doing so well. It was on 43 this week, so it's a bit of a drop. But I think it's been quite a tough Sky game week anyway. Captaincies didn't really hit much this week. And then the likes of, big at the back, for instance, Rudiger and Alonso got 1 point between the two of them, which was frustrating. Lewis Dunk, obviously, not turning up. Cancelo only with a 4 pointer. It's been one of those weeks. However, next week, it's quite manic. There's obviously a lot of fixtures, given Sky have obviously run from Friday to Thursday. There's games basically throughout, other than the Monday. So, shall we quickly touch on them before we jump onto Twitter questions, James?
Yeah, might as well. Obviously, you if you want to, you have to cover Brentford, Watford. Maybe obviously Dennis we've spoken about.
Yep.
If you want to go there for a striker spot, you've got Tiers against City. Brentford obviously probably maybe already on in Bremo, so just holding for this. Is there anyone you fancy? Ooh, let's obviously Saturday you're probably going Salah.
See, it's tricky now.
You not? You going with the City team use? Going with Cancelo?
Well, see, the City team news would be ideal. Because yeah, someone like Cancelo could go off. My only problem with the Sky game is obviously it's the ownership as well. Now, if Salah goes mental against Villa, he's going to be highly captained, isn't he? But there are two teams there that have very good fixtures. You've got City against Wolves. Wolves don't score a lot, and City probably are likely to dominate. Man United play Norwich. I've got Cristiano Ronaldo. You've also
Yeah,
got Ronaldo. If I knew that Ronaldo was starting, so say he's rested this week in the Champions League, I'm tempted to go against Salah, which sounds mental, but I think Ronaldo could go wild. Obviously, having watched Norwich against Spurs, Spurs could have and should have scored more. Man United with their pressing game, they're not going to let Norwich get 90 passes between each defender at the back. I think Ronaldo could go off here.
yeah, I think that's a fair shout. I mean, Villa are playing quite well at the moment, so I don't imagine it'd
Exactly.
be too easy. However,
No,
obviously Mo is Mo and could get a 20 pointer. You don't know, but
that's the worry. Yeah, it's
yeah,
I might have to take a leap of faith given the way my season's gone so far, but I don't want that leap to then bite me in the arse. And like you say, Salah comes over with a hat trick, man of the match, and Ronaldo got booked. It'd be frustrating, but we'll see. Um,
Yeah.
the Sunday now. See, there's 4 fixtures here, and this is the reason why I have to keep Harry Kane, James, because it's Leicester, Newcastle. I don't own anybody from those 2 fixtures. Burnley, West Ham. Don't own anyone from those. I had Lewis Dunk, who was going to be the backup, in the hope that he at least got passing tier. Now that he's injured, I'm fucked. My only other option would be Conor Gallagher against Everton, and I don't think Gallagher really gets much more than say a tackle tier in this one. Bright.
Really? You don't think he'll score?
No, I don't think he will.
Oh, it's Everton.
Yeah, I know, but Gallagher isn't exactly the striker, and he seems to be dropping a bit deeper lately.
That's
So
CDM. Everyone's saying
yeah,
that.
so I'm a little bit worried that it would only be a 5 pointer, and I've got Harry Kane. There isn't really a come off point for him, and Brighton
Mm.
are without 8 players, including 3 main centre backs. Now, I say this every week, but if Harry Kane can't score this weekend, I don't think he's going to score again in the Premier League. So I've got to keep him because I kicked myself, and then after that, I'm just going to bin him off. Harry Kane will immediately move on to a Man City player on the Tuesday, and I don't even care that I'll be missing out on the fixture on Thursday because it's Spurs Leicester, and I've got Liverpool captaincy, obviously, in Mo Salah, and then the backup of Rudiger or Alonso against Everton. So I wouldn't captain him. Therefore, he's probably expendable at that point, but I personally feel I have to keep him for Sunday.
Fair enough.
However, I do think Son is the best option that on that game.
Oh, definitely on current form.
Yeah, 100%. On the Tuesday, I think again you get to see all the teams, which is a good thing. The debate will be probably Ronaldo versus say Man City.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe Ronaldo might edge it. Maybe City won't get their normal passes in due
Yeah,
to Leeds.
Leeds is pressing exactly, and obviously with players returning.
Yeah, no.
Wednesday's tricky. Again, it's another one of those horrible days.
Mm.
Burnley, Watford.
I'll probably go Saar in
Yeah, I
my
was going
for
to say
Wolves.
Brighton Wolves. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if you're on Saar. I think he'd be a good option given Brighton's crisis at the moment. Palace, Southampton, or Arsenal against West Ham. Well, I don't really fancy Ramsdale to keep a clean sheet in that one, so
No,
I might
no.
have to go Gallagher on the Wednesday.
Yeah, Gallagher's a good chat actually. Yeah, anyone playing us.
Yeah, 100%. And then obviously on the Thursday, we've spoken about it there, but I think Salah is probably the prime candidate.
Yeah, I don't even need to think about
No. Right, let's quickly jump onto some Twitter questions then, James. And first things first, we have a question in from FF Dempsey. So, which player currently under 10% owned in the top 1K do you think should see some higher ownership in the coming weeks? It's a
that.
tough question.
I'm just gonna check Bernardo Silva's. It's now
Yeah, and it's up to
24.4. I
24,
don't know if that would have been the case before the weekend.
quite
Maybe
possibly.
people have hopped on. Uh,
For me, the player I think that is going to see a bit of an ownership, and it could come down to the fact that Tony is missing for Friday, and people are now potentially looking like yourself for another option. Um, I think Dennis personally, albeit yes, I think he's been included in the provisional squad for the African Cup of Nations. It's whether he gets included in the final squad, I'm not sure, because he hasn't played for them for quite some time. But given it's Brentford, Burnley, Palace, Wolves, and West Ham before he's likely to move on, 5.5 million, I think Dennis could probably see quite an uplift in ownership, particularly if it allows people to then really attack the fixtures with some premium assets.
yeah, I'd agree with that one. To be honest.
Right, moving on then to Luke NDN's question. More of a statement than a question, but I'll say it anyway. It's Chelsea triple defence is no longer required. Is there better value elsewhere? Man City, for instance, Diaz, Laporte, Rodri, Bilva.
Yeah, I think, or
Agreed.
even Liverpool as well.
Yep.
Like Van Dijk I mentioned earlier. Uh, yeah, Chelsea. I don't know.
It's tough. I
It's
think Rodri and Bernardo Silva are both reasonably well priced as well in this game, which makes them more achievable. And given they've both been rested for the Champions League, like we've said, I think they could continue to kick over. And see, Rodri himself he's a bonus magnet in Sky, isn't he? Passing and tackle tiers consistently. So yeah, someone like Rodri could be quite good.
yeah, definitely.
Question in from Ryan Fitzsimmons. So, do I get rid of Kane and use a luxury transfer on Saturday for Ronaldo versus Norwich? Or do I let him play against Brighton on Sunday and then bring Ronaldo in the midweek?
Ooh, it's a very good question.
It depends on it. For me, it depends on if you're captaining Ronaldo or not.
Yeah,
If you're not
yeah,
captaining him against Norwich, then I'd allow Kane to play Brighton because you're more likely to captain Kane on Sunday. And then once he's inevitably got his 2 points doubled to 4, you can rage transfer him out for Ronaldo then.
yeah. I think I'd agree with that. So yeah, how well do you think he's going to do against Norwich? Is
Yeah,
how I determine what I do there.
that's the thing. And then final question in from Manus. Hi TSK, big fan of you pod. Thank you very much. So City are expected to score 2.5 plus goals per game for the next 5. Assuming you already own a City midfielder, is doubling up a sensible option? Primarily, you would not want to miss out on any mids that are part of the score sheet if they haul. I own Foden.
I think like the decent attacking City mids, Bernardo Silva aside, are a bit tricky.
Yeah, agreed.
Like their returns are sort of sporadic. Like Sterling, you never really know when he's going to return. Obviously, he did at the weekend, but I wouldn't really want him. I wouldn't want Grealish at the moment. I feel more comfortable with Rodri and Bernardo Silva
Yep.
than I would Foden. Foden just gets rotated too much.
Yeah, agreed. Obviously, Bernardo Silva's 8.5, Rodri's 8.7. They're the two highest scorers for Man City's midfield. I think, given they're the two highest and they're the two cheapest aside from those that don't play, you'd probably go there. I wouldn't necessarily be jumping on like a Jack Grealish, for instance. I'd be going for
No.
those that are picking up tiers. Even Gundogan, obviously, when he's fit, is a very good asset in this game, but he's 9.3, so he's 0.8 more than Bernardo Silva, and I'd probably go Bernardo given the current form.
Yeah, if you wanted to go down that road, then obviously what you need to happen is Kevin De Bruyne to come back into the team and keep playing
Yep.
because obviously he'd be a great player to have.
Yeah, 11.5 million. It's very steep for what he has given us so far this season.
Oh, big time.
Right then, I think we'll call the podcast to an end there, James. And just a quick score update before we finish is Everton 0, Arsenal 0. 27 minutes
Good
in.
stuff. Yeah,
Gabriel
good stuff.
already on 31 passes, mate. You're guaranteed the passing tier there.
You best not jinx it.
Right then. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, mate. And as always, it is a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Cheers, guys.